How y'all doing out there? My name is Staff Sergeant Horner. I'm the station commander here at Martinsville Army Recruiting Station. We're going to do a little Q&A today, just so you guys get to know a little bit about myself and also what we do as far as recruiting efforts here in Martinsville. Throughout this week, we're going to be also posting some local people who have joined before, who are now reservists, or people who went OCS, or people that are even going to college now, thanks to the Army. So today we're going to do just a little Q&A. Staff Sergeant Stevens is off to my left here. So without further ado, Staff Sergeant Stevens.
Question number one. How long have you served in the United States Army?
I joined in 2006. It was 2 years after my high school graduation, and so that makes it 14 years now.
Okay. Question number two. What made you decide to join the U.S. Army?
There's a lot of different factors involved with that. The biggest one was I wanted to eventually start a family. I knew from an early age that I wanted to be a dad, so I knew that I had to have some, pretty grounded, I guess you would call it stabilization. So when I went and talked to the recruiter, I asked about things like how much I make per month, things like benefits, and a lot of the things that he was talking about really clicked, and I could see that working with what I wanted in my future. And that was things like, medical insurance for me and my entire family, the, guaranteed paycheck on the 1st and the 15th. Those were like two biggest things that I had never had in a job before. So that security, that was the biggest thing.
Did you look at any other options, any other branches or college long term?
Well, I was in college at the time, and bills were piling up, student loans and stuff like that. So I knew that I could continue my education through the Army as well. So that was also a big factor, not the biggest, but I knew that I could always continue my education, which I have. And I had looked at other branches before. My entire family was Navy, so I knew a lot about that already, so I never talked to a recruiter about it. But I did go and talk to the Marines once, and they were right next door to the Army, so I went right over next door and talked to the Army, and it just clicked with me better. I felt like it was a family. I felt like there was something to it, and I wanted to see more. So here I am now, 14 years later.
So you mentioned college before. What is the reason you chose active duty as opposed to going the reserve route and finishing up college?
So the recruiter that I had, he broke it down for me like 3 different sections whenever we had our initial interview. He talked about what life would be like if I was just a civilian, what life would be like in the reserves, and active duty. And we compared them like that. And it came down for me was just that, stability of like knowing I got the paycheck on the 1st and the 15th and be able to provide for my family. That was the biggest reason why I picked active. Looking back on it now, I didn't realize that you could do reserves and work full time. Had I known that, I might have looked into that. If anybody out there is interested in that, it is called the AGR program. Personally, I think it's one of the best kept secrets in the Army. So if that's something you'd like, is to kind of stay local, go to college, but possibly work full time, come and talk to us about it. We'll be able to fill you in.
What are some of the certifications, either on the job or for the Army, and education on the civilian side, like the civilian education that you've gotten while you've been in?
I got a lot of certifications throughout my time in the Army. Biggest ones would be I got a fiber optics certification, A+, N+ for the computer side of things. And as far as that's concerned, I feel like that carries a lot of weight whenever you do get out of the Army. A lot of places are looking for people that had those certifications, but you also definitely want to continue on with your civilian education while you're in. I did manage to finish up my associate's degree, went on to also get more and more credits towards my bachelor's degree. I think I'm like 14 credits shy of finishing my bachelor's. And the best part about all that is I never paid a single dime for any of those certifications or education. So that was a really big thing for me too.
Where are some of the areas that you've been stationed for the Army?
Well, I started off at Fort Benning, Georgia, where I had my basic training. Went to Fort Gordon afterwards for AIT. Those were, training environments. So it's not like I was really out in the community and things like that. You're just there for training purposes. But my first actual duty station was in El Paso, Texas. There's a base out there called Fort Bliss. I was there for 4 years. The unit I was in was fenced in. They weren't deploying, and that's what I really wanted. I wanted to deploy. So when I went and re-enlisted, I re-enlisted for Fort Stewart, Georgia, because they were constantly rotating in and out. So I went to 3rd ID, deployed there twice, once to Afghanistan and once to Iraq. And then I came on recruiting orders, and here I am now.
So, any other places you've been deployed besides Afghanistan and Iraq?
No, those are the main 2 places. I haven't really been overseas. I've been stateside pretty much my entire career.
Okay. What are some of your favorite memories that you've had over your years of being in the U.S. Army?
There's a lot, but I'd say the best memories are just those that you make with your fellow teammates. Those small moments whenever you're out in the field and cracking jokes and kind of going through the tough times together. The camaraderie is definitely the biggest memory, but specifically in 2008, I was selected to go to Washington, D.C. for President Obama's first inauguration. I was on a team of all different branches, including like Coast Guard, Marines, Air Force, all the other branches were there, and I was representing the Army for the communications for the parade route. So we set up comms along the parade route for the inauguration. I was there for like 2 months. I got paid extra to do that. So, being able to be in that kind of environment and actually meeting the president, that's probably one of my biggest memories for sure.
If you could go back and tell your past self something when you first started this process, what would it be?
It'd be a lot, but the biggest thing is don't be afraid. Don't psych yourself out. This is a very important step in everybody's lives, and it's an important step in your life. But just trust your recruiters. They've been doing this for a long time. They know what they're talking about. Listen to advice and ask a lot of questions. That'd be the biggest thing. If you come and talk to one of us, make sure you got a whole bunch of questions to bring with you, because we're happy to answer those.
What is the best benefit about joining the U.S. Army?
Well, I think it goes back to what I said earlier. It's that camaraderie. It's that togetherness you have with somebody. It's that, it's something that you go through that less than 1% of the population does. It's something that you can be very proud of. Every day when I put my uniform on, I'm very proud of what I do. So I think that camaraderie and that pride would definitely be that.
What are your plans on what you want to do when you get out, and do you plan on retiring?
Yeah, definitely. I've only got 6 years left till I can retire at my 20-year mark. Right now I'm looking at either being a JRTC instructor at one of the high schools, or working for like one of those corporations that works alongside with the government, like General Dynamics or Boeing. So I put in my application for that kind of thing. So just know that the Army gives you a really good foundation to build the rest of your future off of. A lot of employers are looking for those who have served their country. If you have any questions that haven't been asked during this interview, be sure to tune in to Sergeant Masano's live stream on both Facebook and Instagram this Saturday from 3 to 4 p.m. to ask any questions about the Army, or direct your questions to the contact info on the screen.